Peter Griffin is not just idiotic and stupid. This man is a straight-up psychopathic killer. But just how many bodies has he racked up? Let me tell you, it's wild. From kids to regular folks, old people, and even his own family, Peter is sparing no one. After spending my entire weekend and days on end digging through every episode of Family Guy, here's every person Peter Griffin has killed. So we start at the very beginning. Peter's first confirmed kill, the Road Runner. In just the second episode of Family Guy, I Never Met the Dead Man, Peter ran down the fast bird from Looney Tunes, flattening her out.
Ah, geez, did I just hit that ostrich?
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah, he's fine. Keep going.
That would be the first of many to come. In the very next episode, a tour bus pulls up to Griffin House and Peter completely loses it. The next thing, he pulled out a shotgun and taken down the entire band.
Hi, can we use your phone?
Holy crap, it's the Children of the Corn!
That's 3 bodies, just like that. Then there's the hospital incident. And honestly, whoever let Peter into a hospital to be a doctor should probably be on trial too for the death of this patient.
Clear. Clear.
Oh, you saved my life, Doctor.
Clear.
And then it gets out of hand. Next, Peter literally took over Death's job, and with his role, he killed 2 pilots mid-flight just by touching them.
What are you doing? You're not a pilot. I know every pilot in the world.
I'm here to keep you from making an error. A pilot error. Geez, I probably should have worn mittens.
Good thing Karen Black was there to land the plane, or everyone would have died. But Peter is no good as Death, the same way he's no good as a babysitter. He left a freaking baby to drown in a bathtub.
Yeah, guess that's it. Well, you probably want me to get out of your hair, so here's the Drano in case there's a clog. Soap's right there next to the radio, and towels are on the roof. So, good night.
He should have absolutely nothing to do with supervising kids, but Peter decides to apply as a nanny and show up as friggin' Mary Poppins.
Michael, did you hear the good news? We're getting a new nanny. Oh, Jane, I'm ever so excited. Do you suppose she'll be everything we've dreamed? Oh, I do hope so. I've always imagined the most beautiful...
Damn it!
2 kids killed and pushed right under the bed. But those were strangers. How about his own family?
Hi, Dad.
Well, we learned a lot this week. But unfortunately, we all then died of carbon monoxide poisoning. Was it worth it? I don't know.
But his foolish mistake gets worse.
Now, I don't want to pat myself on the back, but I worked all day getting them just right. Holy crap! Oh my God! Then that means... And that also means... You know what, Peter? You tried hard, and you still earned that wine.
That's 3 bodies cooked. Sure, they come back in the next episode, but it still counts. And so, Peter whacking off Brian like some gangster makes the kill count too. Brian got this treatment for, well, eating Peter's chicken he left in the fridge, and even drinking Peter's last can of cream soda.
Pull over here, I gotta take a leak. Leave the gun. Take the cream soda.
The lesson is to stay away from Peter's food or snacks.
You don't understand.
Oh, I understand. That lunch didn't have your name on it, but this bullet does.
My name is Peter too!
But another thing to stay away from is Peter's kids. Yeah, Peter's definitely not winning any parenting awards, but he has a funny way of defending his kids. When he's not being violent towards them, he takes it out on bullies like Connie. And, well, she didn't walk away in one piece. Or walk away at all.
Hey, Connie. Hi, Peter Griffin, Meg's father. Say, can you do me a favor? You see that fire extinguisher there?
Dad, that's enough! Dad, that's enough! That's enough, Dad!
Talk about tough love.
You remember that kid you said was bullying you at school? Well, here's his head.
That's not even him! That's the deaf kid!
And if Chris was shocked by that, Peter killing Cleveland with an axe, yeah, that completely blew his mind.
How you doing, Doc?
Alright, time for a quick disclaimer. From here on out, things get a lot more violent, brutal, bloody, and downright disturbing. Peter isn't just dangerous, he's a full-blown sociopath, and the gore level goes way past what I can safely show, even with heavy blur. Honestly, I'd show you everything, but I also enjoy having a channel, so please bear with me, guys. Now back to the video. If Peter isn't wielding an axe as his weapon of choice, he's going full Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Woodsman.
Even if it's just a shadow of the wall, you can see how horrifying it still is. And it didn't stop there. Oh no, Peter took his Chainsaw Massacre madness further.
You know, I'm not sure if that's our hero or just a lunatic going house to house murdering people.
But nothing counts as more senseless killing than Peter taking out a kid just to steal his jet ski.
Peter, the boat's right there. We'll totally make it.
It's the only way, guys!
Peter, we're now literally standing on the boat. That's how close the boat is.
Made it!
And then there's a time he threw an innocent woman to her death.
Bye! 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 Bye!
And poor innocent Erica, she got knifed because of Peter's stupidity as a chef, just trying to prove he had better skills than Quagmire.
Big whoop, I can do that.
Oh my God, Erica! You killed Erica! Fantastic.
His stupid antics is always guaranteed to result in disaster.
More, a little more. I'll have this sucker in the bedroom in no time. Oh, time for United States of Terror. No, 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 no!
And the kill count just keeps going up.
Sybil Shepherd?
Yes.
Evelyn? Evelyn?
But that's not the only unfortunate old woman to pass away at Peter's hands. Literally. But it seems every sport Peter picks up comes with a death penalty for somebody else, like when he tried to shot put. Peter also turned an adventure like treasure hunting into a homicide.
Holy crap, Lois! It's the treasure!
Oh my God!
Oh no, it's the one kid who also followed the treasure map.
Without any guilt, Peter pushed Thelma and Louise down a cliff to death. Now, that was Peter sneaking up from behind the car, but Peter behind the wheels is no better either.
I know how many beers I can drink and still be able to drive. I figured it out. 7. 6.
Look out!
Oh my God!
Holy crap!
Just give me the rope. Nobody has to get hurt, Brian. Only one person has to get hurt, Brian.
Halle Berry's Wild Ride.
But that's nothing compared to Peter finally remembering the time he felt alive when he mowed down runners of the Boston Marathon. That's about 25 bodies at the very least. Now, Peter doesn't need to swing a weapon to add to his kill count.
There's nothing you can possibly imagine that's strange or useless enough that we don't have it here at Anthropology.
I know one thing you don't have. Black customers.
Ah! I'm melting!
Ha-ha! To the ladies' room.
Oh, Mr. Griffin, I want that film.
Oh, sure. It's right over there in President Rushmore's mouth.
Oh my God!
And while they're making out and enjoying their music, the truck driver is busy getting torn apart by wolves. Yeah, I'm still pinning it on Peter. This man killed his own father by drunkenly tumbling down the stairs dressed as a clown, no less, while attempting some idiotic circus stunt.
Grandpa! Oh my God! Is he breathing? Somebody call an ambulance!
Now, when it comes to Peter's violent streak, not even animals get spared. How did they just stand back and watch until he got to that point before anyone spoke up? But that's not the weirdest of Peter's kills. Peter and the gang once showed up in sharp collar suits ready to party, but by the time they left the club, they had wiped out the entire bar full of people. This is why clubs should have dress codes.
Yeah, we'll have a round of beers for the table. Yep, we got her too.
At the end of the fashion entrance, there was like 20 people sliced to death. But hold on, we're not even halfway through Peter Griffin's kill count, and he's already clocked 105 bodies. The wild part? That's just the warm-up. What comes next makes this look like a walk in the park. But before we dive into the real chaos, do me a quick favor, hit that subscribe button so you never miss any cool videos. Now, let's get back to the havoc that is Peter Griffin. To crank up his kill count even more, we head to the time Peter pulled up dressed like Kill Bill, and what followed was straight up samurai carnage. It was a pure, unfiltered bloodbath. This wasn't just carnage, it was carnage on swords and steroids. By the time Peter was done, every last one of them was hacked down. He took out 15 of them all by himself. Then there's Peter's twisted take on Deadpool. Meet Red Stool. Why the name? Well, the cancer hit him right in the anus. Yeah, but that didn't stop him from doing what Deadpool does best, leaving a trail of bodies like it's a hobby. Well, that was 4 bodies added to the count. And speaking of cancer, you better watch out for Peter as Walter White, the chemist turned meth cook. In true Heisenberg fashion, Peter went around dropping bodies too.
Die!
That's 1, and that's 2. Peter ends up calling for backup and Meg and Brian, and the next thing, missiles are being fired at the low-level drug dealers, blowing them up. And his list just keeps growing and soaring through the roof.
Time to make all those popular kids pay for ignoring me.
Peter, no, you're just a normal high school kid.
Hey, Lance, it's off. It's off. Throw this phone away, Lois.
Even though he called it off, he doesn't get to walk away from that one because he arranged for the school shooting to go down. Going by the screams in the background and shots fired, I'll say 10 innocent children got gunned down. You think Peter's just dumb until they get stranded in the Bahamas. While the gang's looking for help, a plane flies by and Peter gets its attention by shooting it down and killing the pilot. Peter goes blind and has to rely on a dog for movement. He ends up tying his dog to a sleeping homeless man, then watches, or rather listens, as the dog bolts after a car, dragging the poor guy to his death.
I want to come in? Fine. I'll just tie you to this parking meter.
But this is all still simple stuff. Peter is also out there blowing stuff up like it's a hobby. He had a whole hospital blown to bits. Why? Because Stewie was about to get a vaccine for a bad infection and Peter, dressed as the Joker, decided vaccines were the enemy. So naturally, he blew the entire building sky high, because what's a Batman without his Joker, right? If I had to guess, judging by the cars parked outside and giving it a generous stretch, there were at least 50 people in that building. But Peter didn't care. He did it again. And this time, it was a children's hospital. Another brainless stunt with a body count.
Well, watch this. Oh, God. Oh, my God. This is horrible. Oh, God. Oh, that's terrible.
An average hospital like that, right in the city center, you're looking at no less than 200 people inside. Mothers, kids, doctors, nurses, and staff. At this point, Peter Griffin isn't just reckless, he's a full-blown terrorist. And speaking of terrorism, Peter literally joins one. By accident, of course, because Peter has the IQ of a microwave. He befriends a guy named Mahmoud, who's a part of a terrorist organization. But Peter's too busy enjoying the attention and perks of being Muslim to notice. So then Mahmoud gives him a phone. At least Peter thinks it's a phone, and while hanging out at the Drunken Clan, Peter tries to call Mahmoud.
I'm gonna call Mahmoud right now on this cell phone he gave me. He'll tell you. Damn phone's busted. Maybe I dialed wrong.
Peter, please stop trying to call Mahmoud.
Those screams, that explosion, yeah, that wasn't a phone, that was a bomb trigger. People definitely got hurt or worse, so let's keep the death count conservative and say 5 bodies for each explosion minimum. Peter and the gang actually tried to do the right thing for once, stopping Mahmoud and his crew from bombing the Quahog Bridge. They pull it off thanks to Peter going undercover and wearing a wire during a secret meeting. Just when you think the danger's over and the gang wants to go celebrate, Peter, this absolute menace, pulls out that same phone Mahmoud gave him and dials it again.
Let me call Horace and tell him to get our table ready.
Peter, did you just...
Let's go.
Just like that, he blew up the Quahog Bridge, and with traffic likely packed during the day, that's at least 100 lives gone in one explosive screw-up. Peter Griffin, a one-man national threat. But again, Peter has caused destruction on a scale way bigger than that. After going on a wild adventure to find the source of all dirty jokes, Peter and the gang get locked up by a secret society. They eventually plot an escape, classic Family Guy chaos, but Peter doesn't just leave. No, he burns down the entire building where the dirty jokes were written.
Put it out! Oh my God! It's heading for the first dead baby joke ever written!
Even though it wasn't intentional, the building does blow to bits shortly after, just as the gang makes their escape on a plane. And if I stretch the head count a bit, I'd say about 200 people were in there. There's also the time Peter went toe-to-toe with President Donald Trump. Yes, a full-on street brawl between the two. Things got insane fast. The punches? Brutal. The collateral damage? Catastrophic. Because mid-fight, Trump slams Peter's head onto a big red button, and that button? Yeah, it launches a missile. More accurately, it launches missiles. Now, let's say at least 200 people get wiped out in a single explosion from the missile. About 3 were launched, which means that's a 600th death toll. 600 plus 1, counting this poor guy that tried to separate them. But none of Peter's chaos even comes close to the fact that he unleashed alongside Homer Simpson. In the Simpsons crossover episode, Peter throws shade at the Simpsons, saying their show sucks, and what follows is a full-blown, city-leveling brawl between the two dads. Nothing's safe. School children get mowed down by a bus. And the poor kid in the back seat, he gets flung out, but at least had the self-awareness to admit and chuckle that he's in danger.
I'm in danger!
Their fight drags them into Springfield's nuclear plant, where they fall into radioactive liquid. Instead of killing them, it powers them up, basically a green light for even more destruction. One punch alone, it literally vaporized the skin off anyone in the blast radius. So when you stack up everything, flattened buildings, exploded buses, vaporized bystanders, the Springfield showdown alone racked up a body count of at least 100, minimum. And that's being generous. And now we come to the ultimate showdown, Peter Griffin versus Ernie the Giant Chicken. These two have thrown down in every setting imaginable, airports, construction sites, city streets, even space. And every time it's not just a fight, it's a full-scale demolition with human lives caught in the crossfire. Cars get tossed like toys, planes crash, buildings collapse, entire freeways get blown up mid-commute. And the worst part, this isn't a one-time thing. It's a recurring bloodbath. For a grudge that started over an expired coupon, the violence and destruction are insanely excessive. But hey, this is Peter Griffin, and his kill count just keeps climbing. That truck driver is gone, and the ship, let's say it had at least 10 people on board. Then these two get on a helicopter to keep the fight going. See that helicopter flying straight into a building? There's no way that didn't crash and explode. I'll count at least 2 people on board. In their next showdown, the chaos moves onto a moving train, and of course it ends in total disaster. The passengers who likely died in that train crash, I'm putting it at 50, easily. And those poor folks on the street who got swept up and flattened, I'm counting 20, and that's me being modest. But of course, the battle doesn't stop there. These two maniacs take it to a construction site next. Yikes, those 2 co-workers fell straight to their deaths, no chance of surviving that drop. Next, Peter and Ernie crash a plane into a Ferris wheel. Yeah, it gets really ugly, not like it was any pretty before. That giant wheel goes full death roll into the city, flattening everything in its path. Forget the injuries and destruction for a second, at least 500 people must have gotten mauled to death. And it doesn't stop there. The wheel doesn't just roll through streets, it takes down an entire building like it's made of matchsticks. But this eternal beef doesn't get squashed. Not even close. It kicks off again, this time from a fancy restaurant. That poor waiter is never getting up. Another fight breaks out between the two when Peter jumps in to defend Quagmire. This time, the chaos spills onto the road. Cars swerving to avoid the brawl end up crashing and exploding left and right. That's 6 cars, 6 people. That poor driver, probably just trying to get to work or pick up his kid, is questioning every life choice that led him to take that road on that day. But he doesn't have as much questions as the cruise ship that was coasting peacefully until Peter and Ernie crashed in. But the real wave of death and destruction hits when Peter and Ernie take their brawl into the ship's engine room. They tear the place apart, send the controls into chaos, and the entire ship heads full speed toward the city like a giant metal missile. The ship crashes into the city and the damage is brutal. Buildings collapse, cars are totaled, and people get caught in the chaos. It's not just an accident, it's mass destruction. That's got to be nothing less than 500 bodies squashed, man. And it never ends there. This time their chaos goes temporal. Peter and Ernie hijack Stewie's time machine pad and take their brawl across multiple time periods, wrecking history itself. The poor driver of that Cybertruck-looking train they crashed into absolutely vaporized as the time pad powered Peter and Ernie back to the present. And the chaos only gets weirder from here, because of course it does. Their fight lands them in the middle of a high-tech scientific research center. The innocent scientist looks pretty gone to me, and as Peter and Ernie clash inside the cloning machine, their chaos causes the whole research facility to explode, taking everything down with it. Judging from the size of the building, I'd say at least 100 people were caught in that blast, reduced to nothing but ash. And the fight is still not over yet. The cloning machine gets them thrown into a NASA facility and crushes 4 bodies to death instantly. Their fight gets into space, and even there, the astronauts still suffer for it. Their spaceship crashes back to Earth and blows up an ocean oil rig. Not everyone could have jumped at safety in time, so add an extra 5 bodies to the list. But the most epic showdown between these two bloodhounds, it's hands down the one where Brian messes with Stewie's time machine. Everything starts happening in reverse. So their fight scenes end up happening like something straight out of Christopher Nolan's Tenet movie. Yep, all that wreckage is thanks to their fight crashing an airplane. So that puts another 200 on the death count. And well, there was an earlier trail of bodies. So, adding up the casualties from their fights, the brawl between Peter and the chicken alone left 1,409 people dead, all because 2 lunatics couldn't let go of a coupon dispute. And when we now add up Peter's entire kill count, that brings it to a tally of 2,818. Wait a minute, this legit means half of Peter's entire body count came from his fight with a chicken. At this point, both Peter and Ernie should be facing war crime charges, but believe it or not, in Family Guy, there's one character who's even more vicious and way deadlier. Peter Griffin. Check out this video next to see why this baby might be the most dangerous thing in a diaper.